When I was a kid, my family spent a lot of time visiting theme parks. That is what we used to do for our summer vacations, and my sisters and I just loved going on roller coasters and dark rides and those dumb little shows that they have, and exploring the lands and just generally being in that environment. We loved that. And fortunately, I married someone who had a similar experience growing up. So when we started our own family, that is something that we couldn't wait to do for our own kids. As I was doing hours and hours of research planning our family trips to the Florida theme parks, when is the best time to go, what are the best places to stay, and what amenities do those places have, how can you save a little bit of money? So I thought, I've already done all of the legwork for this, in planning our own family trips. I bet you someone out there who's doing something similar, trying to research and plan their own family trips, they might benefit from all of this work that I've already done, putting together spreadsheets, comparing and contrasting the different costs of the different resorts and how far apart each of them are to the different theme parks and such. And I was like, you know what? I wonder if someone would benefit from me sharing this. So I created a YouTube channel specifically with the intent of helping other people like me plan their family trips to the Florida theme park specifically. So I got excited doing all the things that go into creating a new brand. What am I going to call it? Designing the logo, reserving all of the handles on social media so that I can share that content out. And that was really exciting and fun to do because it was like taking this idea that you have in your head and then making it come to life. So we have taken a family trip down to Orlando just about every year since my kids have been able to. And as long as we were there, I would take out my camera and film all the different aspects of staying at that resort, what the pool looks like, what food options there are, what the room looks like. I would film all of that kind of stuff, put it together in a resort review, and then share that to the YouTube channel. So I created it in the spirit of helping. And some of those resort videos have a lot of views to this day and still get, people, searching for them, because when someone is trying to figure out, well, what's the difference between this resort and that resort? They're the same price. What does it matter? And then they'll search for it on YouTube and my video comes up walking them through. So some of those resort tour videos have lots of views and lots of comments. Oh, thank you. This really helped me. I'm definitely going to stay here. And that was really exciting for me. I have always been interested in creating video, and this gave me like a real purpose. And those videos have done pretty well, and it was encouraging. I hit a point though where I ran out of footage because I only go down there at most once per year, and I didn't have enough content to sustain a channel to put out consistent videos on this topic. Meanwhile, there are people who live in Orlando who visit the theme parks almost every day and are constantly churning out new content. They've got millions of subscribers, and this is like what they do full time. I can't compete with that. How is my tiny little channel going to compete with that when I live on the opposite half of the country? I went into it knowing that I was at a disadvantage, living farther away, but I thought I could supplement that by, leaning into the planning aspect of it. You can do the planning from anywhere, but without that footage, that experience, that first person perspective in the parks, in the resorts, in the restaurants that, wanted to talk about. There's no way that I could compete with the channels that have 1 million subscribers. They go every day and really, VIP access to those areas because Disney, Universal invite them out to experience stuff, behind the scenes. I could never be on that level where I am. So running out of that kind of personal content that I could produce and share, because my experiences were only limited to 1 week out of the year, I thought for the 51 other weeks of the year that I'm not down there, I could create funny vertical videos that were related to theme park culture. And, there are so many people online who are really, big theme park fans. There was a big audience for that, and I could grow my channel on vertical video instead. So I gave it a try, and they actually did pretty well. I have, many with tens of thousands of views. And I know I've talked about this too many times on this channel already, but I was reading an article about how people were pooping in Disney World lines because the lines were so long and they didn't want to lose their place to get out and go to the bathroom, so they would let their kids just take a dump right there in the line and then keep going. And I put together an animation, talking about this, and that got hundreds of thousands of views across YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, and TikTok. And despite that video going somewhat viral, it did not have a significant impact on the amount of subscribers that I had. As exciting as it was to create something that was seen by so many people, it came and went and nothing really changed. And I just figured, like, how many of those kinds of videos can I make? I kind of got lucky with that one. So I could continue to try to make those kinds of things, but after the excitement of that wore off, I haven't really created anything for that channel in quite some time. And last year we took some family trips to some theme parks. I didn't even bring my camera out. I just wanted to enjoy it and be present instead of trying to think, okay, how can I turn this into content? So it taught me a lesson in that you can be passionate about something. You can have a lot of expertise on something, and it can still just not be the right fit. There's nothing that I can do to be able to add value consistently to an audience that is looking for that kind of content. My friend Kuya Timmy, he lives very close to Disneyland and is able to go pretty regularly, and he'll live stream from there. And it's really cool for me to be able to watch him go on all the different rides and like kind of see what the crowds are like and the fireworks at night, all the way from over here, because I don't get out to the West Coast very often at all. So he is in a great position to be able to do that. He's passionate about it. He lives close by, and he's got over 5,000 subscribers. And I'm so happy for him that he has a passion that he can share with thousands of people, and that is such a better fit for him than it is for me. So as I've kind of let that other YouTube channel languish, I've often thought about, like, was that a failure? Was that a waste of time? And if I got into it trying to make money, trying to get a play button for having over 100,000 subscribers and stuff, yeah, that probably would have been a failure. But when I got into it with the intent of helping others. And I think I did that. And even if I never make another video for that channel again, I feel like that was fun, that was enjoyable, that was something to do, especially, during the times that I had nothing going on in a winter. Well, it was still something that was enjoyable to do, from, the creation of a brand new brand and the excitement around that, to, really learning how to make better informational videos that are concise as can be, but also detailed, and the displaying of information in a way that's easy to comprehend. I might be done with that channel. I don't plan on creating content for it anytime soon. I'm still going to leave it up in case any of the things that I did make are helpful to someone who's searching for it. But even so, I think it was a good experience. I guess my main takeaways are, sustainability matters more than strategy. I had a really good idea with a built-in audience for it. There's always going to be people searching for theme park content, but I couldn't sustain it, and that ended up being a huge barrier. And it really taught me a lesson about being present, because we only get a finite number of family vacations together while my kids are still kids, before they grow up and move out and do family vacations of their own. And I wanted to make sure that I'm taking it in and not having them, stand off to the side while I'm filming the wave pool or the laundry facilities at this particular resort, or whatever dumb thing I was trying to do. I should be focused on that family time, free of homework and soccer practices and birthday parties and obligations and work and everything else, where it's just us. I'm going to miss this when it's gone. Now, if you're watching this, you are probably like me and have at least a dozen channels that you've created in your YouTube studio that you can choose from. And there's nothing wrong with that. There is something fun and enjoyable about getting an idea, creating a new channel, and thinking of all the ideas that you can make happen on that channel for that audience. And there are worse things in the world than doing that. I think that that's okay. I don't know how you define success, but I don't think that these are failures. I think that they are steps in the right direction, and it's something that you were excited about and started working on, and there's nothing wrong with that. Just know when it's time to pull the plug and move on to the next thing.